And now it's time for Fantasy Fortunes. And this is our Week 11 fantasy football picks. And at quarterback, I like Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints at home against the Bengals. I think Brees should put up some big numbers. I also like Tom Brady of the New England Patriots going on the road to Indianapolis. That's on Sunday Night Football. And the Patriots are going to have to put up a lot of points. That's what Brady was talking about in his press conference, that they're going to have to put up a lot of points against the Colts. So that means that they're game planning, to really be throwing the ball a lot and going to Gronk and the other receivers there. So I think Brady's going to have a big game. Then a running back, I like Mark Ingram of the New Orleans Saints at home against the Bengals. Ingram is the back that's really getting all the carries. He had all but 2 of the carries last week for the Saints, as both Robinson and Thomas are banged up. So Ingram's back off of that injury. He's still a little banged up too, but he's taking the bulk of the carries and he's putting up big numbers. And he's been getting 100 yards 3 weeks in a row, and I think he'll make it 4 this week. I also like Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Tennessee against the Titans. That's going to be on Monday Night Football. And the Steelers always show up big on Monday night in prime time. I expect Le'Veon Bell to have a big game on the ground. Probably also get some yards out of the backfield, and you never know, he could get a touchdown both running and catching. So Le'Veon Bell is who I'm going with there. Also at receiver now, I like Jordy Nelson of the Green Bay Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's in Lambeau Field, and Jordy Nelson is always good for at least 1, maybe 2 touchdowns. He should put up over 100 yards. He's one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets, and they've been connected and putting up big numbers lately. They're having a really good season there in Green Bay. I also like Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to Washington. Evans has been putting up big numbers. He's been really hot lately. And now McCown has been targeting him. McCown's back. So I really think that the Bucs are going to pull off a victory there in Washington. I think Evans is going to have a big game. Then at tight end, I like Julius Thomas of the Denver Broncos going to St. Louis to face the Rams. And at tight end, you could go with Jimmy Graham. You could go with Rob Gronkowski, you could go with Julius Thomas, and any one of those 3 should, put up big numbers for you if you're able to go with those guys. They're the 3 top tight ends. I'm going with Julius. I think that he should have, the better game out of the 3, although, like I said, Graham or Gronkowski are obviously going to put up numbers too. So then at kicker, I'm going with Patrick Murray of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think he's going to be pretty active there in Washington. I think that with the Washington defense, they should be holding them to some field goals, and I think that the Bucs are going to be, taking chances going for long field goals. And Patrick Murray, he's pretty good at kicking those long ones, so I think that he should have a good game from the kicker position, but we shall see. And then when it comes to defense, I'm going with the Detroit Lions on the road in Arizona against a really good defense on the other side there. Of course, they're not going against the defense, they're going against the Arizona offense. And Carson Palmer is injured, so it's going to be Drew Stanton. And already the Lions are one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL. And going against the backup quarterback, although Drew Stanton, he did all right, earlier in the season when Carson Palmer went down. I think against Detroit, though, the Lions should be able to, get some turnovers against Stanton. I also think they're going to shut down Andre Ellington. So I think the Lions defense should have some, pretty good numbers this week. So that's the fantasy football players and the fantasy football fortunes for Week 11.